welcome to True News, where we give you the news behind the news. At number 1, media mogul Dumebi Kachikwu officially declares his intention to run for presidency under the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. In what he calls his opening argument, he walks us through how he will address what has become Nigeria's Achilles heel: insecurity.
Visionless leadership cannot continue to lead our people astray. We must elevate our millions of farmers to agripreneurs and transition farming to agribusiness. We will secure our farmlands and protect our men and women from those who seek to do them harm. Our farms will no longer be known as killing fields, but the food factory of Africa, providing millions of good-paying jobs for the middle class. For too long, our people have cried. Men and women are being butchered, orphans and widows created by the minute, by a war sustained by the greedy, who profit from defense contracts, and the bloodthirsty who seek to destroy our way of life. We will confront them headlong and destroy them. This war will be fought on our terms. We will arm all the willing and able to rid our nation of foreign invaders. We will take the fight to their camps as we arrest and prosecute their sponsors. We will no longer close one flank and leave another flank open for further incursions. The full might of the Nigerian army and the united will of the Nigerian people will confront our enemies. Our army will have clear instructions on what to do to the enemy. Our borders will be closed to all those who seek to harm us, because we now know the enemy is the enemy, irrespective of religion, tribe, and tongue. War is war, and Nigeria will win this war. My administration will avenge the lives of all soldiers and civilians killed. They will pay a huge price for their folly and be told in no uncertain terms that Nigeria is not a no man's land. This is the land of the Nigerian people. This is my promise. The sanctity and dignity of life will be restored under my watch.
This election season is unprecedented in more sense than one. First, some of these candidates can now see how mediocre they and their plans are without anyone telling them to their faces. Then we can now see the clear distinction between empty people who belong to the same WhatsApp group and people with actual substance. I hope there will be a debate at some point during this race. If we do, there will indeed be problems. If we had a debate during the last elections, perhaps some Nigerians would have known what the candidates were really made of. Some people wouldn't have been able to answer a question correctly because no one was going to be there with them to write a speech as answers for them. Some would have had nervous breakdowns and probably taken out their frustrations on their mics because they asked them questions they didn't like. But on a more serious note, we should have a presidential candidates debate to see and weigh the mental capacity and quotient of these candidates. Let us see how they hope to represent Nigeria on the global stage. It is impressive to see a 48-year-old who is of sound mind contesting. Nigeria have had horrible tales and experiences at the hand of the old guard, so this is coming at the right time. A few years ago, our president nicknamed Nigerian youths lazy Nigerian youths. A few years down the line, a youthful Nigerian is contesting for presidency, empowering other young Nigerians financially and otherwise to get involved in politics. Did you see how the youths rose during the EndSARS protest and now this? Wow, it is a good time to be a Nigerian youth. Sorry, did you change the air freshener here because all of a sudden I can breathe the fresh air? Moving on to number 2, celebrity gospel singer Osinachi died last week under controversial circumstances. Osinachi, whose hit singles include You Know They Use Me Play, Ekweme and others, was said to have died of throat cancer. However, several close families, friends and colleagues in the industry have other information on how the gospel singer actually died. Her elder sister allegedly confirmed the cause of her death to be a result of injuries sustained when her husband kicked her in the throat while beating her. During an exclusive interview with Vanguard, she said that Osinachi died of blood clotting from her husband hitting her chest as he beat her. She was on life support for 5 days till finally she gave up the fight for her life and died. Other gospel singers and colleagues like Frank Edwards, amongst others, have confirmed that the late Osinachi suffered both emotional and physical abuse from her husband, who was said to have controlled her finances, career, and everything she does, without letting her have a say. All of this may just be allegations for now, but I ask you, do you want to die one day and your death is tagged alleged domestic violence? I find the stance of some pastors and spiritual leaders in Christendom on this very absurd. A pastor said that domestic violence might have been the cross Osinachi was instructed by God to carry. Hey, God. This week signifies the journey of Christ's death for Christians. On his journey, he carried a cross and died for the sins of the world, we are told. This death Christians believe was for them not to suffer. So how then do you decide to pick up another cross and carry it around? It just doesn't make sense to me. Osinachi was said to have wanted to leave her abusive marriage but was scared she might be barred from performing at Christian concerts and what her pastor will say. What? Christians, I ask you, is this what your Christianity teaches? To judge and condemn a fellow Christian for choosing life over death? Is this what your religion teaches? I think time and time again we have let judgment, criticism and injustice take the place of love, kindness, understanding and sound judgment. Spiritual leaders, try to educate yourselves and your flock on the healthy way to deal with these situations. Not just in religious settings, the society should do well to be kind and welcoming of people who have left abusive relationships. Do not judge them or try to shame them. For anyone hearing or watching this, if you are in an abusive relationship or marriage, I urge you to leave today. Make up your mind to leave that toxic relationship. A living dog is always better than a dead lion. Yes, the Bible said so. That will be all on True News. Do not forget to like, share and leave your comments in the comment section below. Always be a part of the show. Do not forget to get your PVC and use it. Until next time, bye.